We're live.
Excellent. Hello, world. This is the PodLayer Proof of Concept demo team, continuing our investigations and experiments with the Mojo phenomenon, particularly being able to track it. All right, so we're going to have a normal 3-act structure. Actually, no, we're not tonight. We're going to have a 2-act structure because we're starting a little later. So we're going to jump right into the Act 2 intermediate portion, which is the weekly quiz. The team has worked on independently under blind test conditions, and now we're going to see what our cohesion of opinion accuracy is. The more challenging samples we'll spend some time reviewing. The samples tonight came from Demas.
Wait, did they come from Infinity?
No, they came from Infinity.
What? Really?
He's not here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's odd, yeah.
Okay, they came from Infinity. My apologies. Very bad. But anyway, what to say is, he also sent in, I think, a live read suggestion as well, so we'll have that for Act 3. Okay, Infinity and Jilene are not here, but they did send in their guesses, so I'll read them out for them. Okay, I am Nai G Coach.
I'm Zaini Demas.
I'm Najee Mitchell.
I'm Naiji Dunn.
I'm Nijai Bruno.
All right, so let's go ahead and get right into the quiz. Let's see here. Mitchell, would you mind reading out who they are, and then I'll give the answers?
Sure. Actually, I think I have them right up just about now. Okay, so we have Tammy Simon, if that's how you pronounce it, founder of Sounds True Media, publisher of spiritual metaphysical literature.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with Bruno and work our way back.
I guess Zinai.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, I know it's unusual.
Yeah, it just feels weird. I guess Zaini.
Interesting. I guessed Naichi.
I said Jaini.
All right.
Let's see.
Let's see. Jilene said Naiji. Infinity said Naiji, and she is Naiji.
Okay.
Next.
Next is Susan Lindquist, molecular biologist.
Bruno?
I guess Nijai.
I guessed Nijai.
I said Xenon. I think Ademus is on the phone, so.
Let's see.
Oh, he's back. Ademus, what'd you guess for Susan Lindquist?
Zenai.
All right, so Infinity guessed Nijai. Jilene guessed Zenai, and she is Zenai.
Why you would guess those two.
Yeah, I do get those confused. Sometimes one way, sometimes the other way.
All right, no, sorry. I'm done. Next is Cheryl Richardson, motivational speaker, author, and life coach.
I guess Nijai.
I guess Naiji.
I guess Naiji.
I said Zenai.
Infinity said Nijai. Jilene said Naiji. She is Naiji.
Mm.
Okay. Next is Ada Yana, structural biologist, Nobel Prize recipient.
I guess Zinai.
I guess Nijai.
I guess Z9.
Zenai.
Jilene guessed Zenai. Infinity guessed just Ada, right?
Yep.
Nijai. And she is a Zenai.
Next is Kristalla Prather, synthetic biologist, the last of the requisites.
I guess Nijai.
I guess Nijai.
I guessed Z9.
Zenai.
All right. Jilene guessed Nijai, and Infinity guessed Nijai. She is Zenai.
I had all three of those, I guess.
This is my thought.
I guess Nijai, all those, and they all ended up being Zenai.
I knew it was, but I knew there was a bunch of Z9 tonight.
I can
But
see
I
those
was
two are tricky to call
consistent,
between
so, like,
sometimes.
Z9 Nijai for sure. I
Yeah.
find it challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of like switches between them. Like kind of, they have like often like rounder faces, and obviously the Niji are gonna have good Z. So
And both inspirational storylines that way. The Naiji and Zaini, very easy.
that's true, as blast purification demonstrates.
Yeah, sure.
So optionals. Julia Cameron, author of The Artist's Way.
I guessed Vijay.
I didn't guess on optionals.
I guessed Nijai.
I didn't do optionals either.
Okay, so then Julia Cameron for Impy. Jolene didn't do optionals either, but Impy guessed she was Neomentum. Actually, she is not. I believe she's Naiji. And then who's up next? Susan Taylor.
Structural biochemist.
Denai.
Got her. Next is Lynn McTaggart, author on consciousness / metaphysics.
Naiji. Catherine Drennan. Zenai.
And Chuck T. Wayne.
Naiji. It was just two motors this time.
Right.
I actually got moved.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So I think which ones were more challenging?
I think a lot of people. Well, I mean, obviously a trend was the distinguishing between the Zenai and the Nijai.
Right.
But,
which one did a lot of people miss?
but as far as one a lot of people got wrong in particular,
Tammy Simone.
yeah, Tammy Simone.
Yeah.
A lot of people got it wrong. A lot of people were thinking like Nez Tower, which I actually can see, or like Zenai or something like that.
All right. Can you pull up some video for us, Mitchell?
Sure. I just grabbed video from the forum. Infinity gave us. Just take a second.
Is that why you thought it was my samples, out of curiosity, Coach? Because there's so many Zenai. Because that usually is a trend for me.
Yeah, that is true. You do usually get a lot of Zenai. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, I know Glenn's coming on. I feel bad, but I think I'm gonna have to make a Z on this one. I think I can't accept the things because this is a live stream and I've given the answers out. You see my dilemma?
What's wrong?
What?
Glenn says he's coming on soon. He just says he needed to finish up the quiz, but we've already streamed the answers live.
Right.
I trust Glenn.
I know, and that's why it's a dilemma, but I think just for protocol, I can't do it. It doesn't count for proof of concept. Jimmy, it's
Yeah, there's a
I
standard
trust
to
Glenn,
have.
but
That's
people,
true.
they aren't our friends, but they want to know what was the conditions of the data forgotten in. I have to control that.
Yeah, it's like we have to have like very.
I
rigorous
see your
scientific
point. Like
standards.
someone
Like,
could
you
go
can't-
back and say,
Yeah.
look at there. You
Yeah,
just sort of.
like that happened there. Other places is the data like sloppy like that, so I can't have it.
Yeah, because
Yeah, you're
like
probably
I
right.
mean, if you show like someone experimental data, they could accuse you, of it being
Right.
sloppy and subject to,
Like Miss Propriety.
All right. So anyway, here's the video. Sorry. Maybe I should go back and not come back to those. It wouldn't matter.
Oh, quick question: did anyone get her right?
I did,
Okay. Everybody take lead.
and I believe Jilene did. So, but I was
I'm sorry. What was that? Mitchell?
I was conflicted about her. So it was sort of a lucky guess, actually. I wasn't not confident.
Okay, so were the guesses mainly what?
I heard Ziny, I heard Shiny, and I haven't heard Z9.
Okay.
They were a little all over the place.
Okay, as far as the Z9, immediately I'm getting that longer look and that easier framement.
Mhm.
So I think that the subjective,
Yeah, that's what I was between. I was really between the Night and the Nest Towers.
But I can definitely see that confusion there. So keep going. But who gets Z9?
I did.
Okay, I'm curious. What is it you were seeing that you thought might be Z9?
I'm not sure. I was between Z9 and IG, and I think because we saw a couple of Z9 spiritual people recently, like that tribal person,
Absolutely.
the tribal advocate. A few other things, I wasn't really sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was kind of pressed for time this week.
No worries at all. But in that case, a better way of saying it is, how about now in this freeze frame? Are you seeing a bit of the longness we usually see with the subjectives?
Yeah. I definitely was strong on. I definitely felt strongly about subjective for a while, but then
Gotcha.
I feel like I've gotten a lot of Z9 wrong lately, and I got a lot wrong in this quiz too. I think I only got 1 or 2 people right this whole thing. But
No worries. I was trying to see if you can maybe see it now a little better.
Oh yeah. I definitely got a subjective energy. I was just confused.
Okay, so then I'm guessing for the other ones, probably her amount of Xi smoothing and control is giving maybe a bit of that tower feeling.
Yeah, and also just like the length of her face kind of threw me off of it. I actually got, or somewhat thought I was seeing a riff of like Ellen DeGeneres or something. So I understand like why Demas gets shiny.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
got that riff too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Okay, that
So
was.
the Zai was probably, it looks like kind of holding her cheek, I guess stiller.
Yeah.
It has a,
She was held, but she's like, I need to get confirmation. She like then gave like a crisp nod. Crisp. It was
Yeah,
very.
she does a lot of like the held thing, which you're going to see a lot with these Naiji doing the Buddhist stretchy kind of stuff. They're going to have a lot of calming energy.
But notice that her punctuation, though, even though it's held with a lot of Xi, was warm. It was warm when she made that nod, as opposed to the warmth on the head tosses versus head nods. Big difference on Xi versus Xi users. And even here, she's kind of got the Xi engaged, looking at him. Now look at her hands. This is something else, kind of like probably dealing with the hunter. She's doing that steepling thing. This here, you'll notice that when towers do it, like because the Demas does that gesture a lot too. There is this. I can't do it, but there's a sagginess, a sagging. The thing that this quality that they have when they steeple their fingers, that happens. It's not happening on hers. It's more like a little teepee there. Do you see?
yeah.
And one of my favorite places in the world, hanging out with you, somebody who's built a company that's so well aligned with so many of my beliefs, but also has incredible impact in the world, and so aligned, and I guess an outgrowth of your personal exploration of meaning and purpose and power and passion and all these things in life. It's an incredible thing. I'd love to kind of take a step back with you. I don't know. Company's actually founded in 1985.
She's tracking him. Again, directives are not generally as comfortable in the waiting position, but hunters are more comfortable than pilots, and ones that have a lot of tower use like her are more comfortable. But still, she's waiting patiently to see how she's going to play. First, she's assessing how he's playing it, and then she's going to decide how she's going to play it. It makes sense. Both the Zhiny and the Ziny are more about Ziny less of an emotional way, but still getting themselves to where they feel balanced in the conversation. Even Ziny, who are necessarily maybe even being like in like a technical or debate mode, they like to get into a settled position. She's not looking to get settled. She's looking to make her move. It's a subtle difference, but that's one of the cues I use to tell apart the towers versus Zidot or any towered up hunter. You all see, like the Baiji politicians, a lot of them have this game too. They patiently are waiting for the interviewer to ask the question, and they're like really gracious about it, very patient, but they're just watching, and then they make their move. They're assessing what they're supposed to say, and then they're going to go in. Oh, hey, Glenn, glad you could make it. One thing, unfortunately, we won't be able to accept the quiz samples from you this week, only because we already gave out the answers on a live stream. And so, just for like the data being respected by people, I have to make sure that we're good on the call timelines. So going forward, that'll be like the absolute last timeline. Is that once the answers have been given out on our session, then that'll be the cap. So if you just try to get them a little earlier in next week, should be no problem. But that'll be our protocol, I guess, going forward. So sorry you did the quiz, but weren't able to put them in. But it's just one of those things. But thank you for trying the quiz. Appreciate it. Right now, going over Tammy Simon. I don't know what you got with her, Glenn, but not a lot of people are seeing she was an IG because she has a lot of Xi use. That's where we are right now.
Yeah. Okay. I said IG.
On your life that sort of like started you down this road.
Yeah. So I'm 21 years old at the time, and I dropped out of college. And
Those things you see a lot too is that there's no matter how much you rein it in and use a tower to smoothen it, when any directive makes a point with their jutting, it just has a more percussive quality. Now you can see it in her, she makes these little tiny juts, but they just do not have the viscosity of a tower.
because what I was interested in, which was and is the direct experience of mystical truths. I just felt that at the time at least, there wasn't really room.
That's up there too. She did two little quick juts, did a little head rotation, and rolled her shoulders. All that's she selling what she's saying while she's Zying it to make it look like she's not really doing it. But if you see it like in a kind of like a small scale, she's still doing all the things that Gmojo does to kind of sell something as she says it. Especially personal voice. I've experienced many of this riff in the metaphysical world. They're very, very popular. Do you guys want to see another video of her, perhaps? I think she's probably talking like this at all of them. It looks like that's her game. One thing I'm noticing here in the freeze frame again is her hands is in a very yin position, but her hands still have tensioning. They're not that drifty like they're drifting in water quality true adapters get, or kind of like this, that wiggly, slightly curled claw that the gatherers get. It's held.
Yeah, even like sterner ones like David Berlinski. Like this.
In my circles, in my circles, in my circles, yes. Okay, right there. She's again things you can't hide. It's very subtle, but she just gave a tell away there also. Kind of like me and Bruno working on music stuff here. It's kind of like a musical thing. It's a musical ear in a way. The more a person's directive, pilots and hunters second, is there is just a faster rate of fire on their gun, and you can like put a safety on that to where it releases slower. You can put a silencer on it, so it's quieter. But basically, directives are semi-auto or automatic fire. When it comes to articulation, that is simply the way they're geared. So right there, what she just did was she did a little ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, and that's something that hunters naturally do. She's been going slow, but she has these little bursts. You'll notice that when a Zini or Zhani actually has a burst, it tends to be a bit more effervescent. It's not like making a point where the words tumble out. So I'm back up here. I was 214. I want you to look, she's been going very slow, but then she's making a point here, and the words speed up. And it feels very comfortable. She gets stronger as they speed up.
Dynamic setting to explore those kinds of topics, especially with a personal voice.
Slow.
And personal discovery. And so I thought any mystic worth their salt would drop out of college. They wouldn't get a degree in mysticism.
Yeah.
And so
were there actually degrees then?
And there was another hint. I saw that in the playback. We're at 2 minutes there. Any person worth their salt, she kind of like G'd into it. She couldn't help it. She actually really felt that point, and so Mojos, they put the G as a effect on the end, whereas G Mojos are going to use the Xi as curbing on the back end. Kind of different way you edit. So with her, there was actually an urge to put oomph in the word. She dampened it some, but still came through there. Now we see somewhere between 214 up to 214, she's going to have a quick tumble of words. It's still rather soft, but it's a quick tumble. Oh, on the quick tumble, kind of like a spoken word thing, is towers tend to have, as an opposite of this, a heavy tone. Hey, Infinity.
Hey, guys.
There's a heaviness in tone the gatherers have, and it's more pronounced in the towers. So when she does her ba-da-da, knows the quickness, and as soon as she releases her Xi breaks for a second there, the words come out quick, and they have a clean enunciation, even though she's not really putting a lot of energy into it. And that's a sign of directives. They tend to have an easier time with enunciation.
To the religion department,
Yeah.
and I could write abstract papers.
There we go.
I couldn't actually get into what was really important.
Couldn't actually
so
get
I
into
went
it.
to India, Sri Lanka, Nepal for a year,
Mm.
studied meditation, and when I came back,
Okay, you see how she's rattled off those things? She did a quick, she took a quick verse there. She rattled off something about how it wasn't satisfying, and then she rattled off where she went. And that's a classic storytelling thing that Naiji will tend to do, and Baiji, where they're telling a story and they need to drop a certain thing that the story makes sense, but they're aware that maybe it's a bit of exposition. One thing they'll do is they'll go into double time. They'll just spit out. I went to Nepal, Beirut, you know what I mean, ba-da-da-da, and then back to the story. And so that's something that's very natural and hard for actually to be held back for the directive. And so they're still slipping through, even though most times she has on a very monotone speaking delivery. I notice, for example, when Zaini gets fired up and Jaini, they do not lose the heaviness in their voice. That's why it's not faux tower tunnel voice. They have real tower tunnel voice. You can see when they're actually shooting hard through the articulator, you still hear that calming heavy, getting that unique sound. With her, as soon as she released, the heavy went away. Her heavy tone just dissipated. Blah, blah, blah. Nepal, Beirut, blah, blah. It just, all of a sudden, that's all melted
And
away.
it's so deliberate. Like, a lot of these gurus specifically put on that voice to sound like that archetype of, like, I'm this sort of calm, ghostly, metaphysical guru.
Yeah.
I talk like this, and it's very calming and
And that's-
hypnotic.
For sure, there's a subtle,
Listen to the sound of my voice.
there's a subtle psychological tell that you can look for on that, which is because they want to do that, they're going to Xi a lot. But why are they Xiing? This is what's different than actual Xi, for example. They're doing it more for its effect. They want to give the effect of I'm a calming, non-judgmental, I don't
Yeah,
have.
there's like a synecision almost with the G.
It
Yeah.
is.
You're like kind of
But here's
using it for that purpose.
and she just gave the tell away here. If you're watching Bill Nye, for example, there'll be moments where he goes into a bit of exposition. And for most people who aren't towers, they naturally speed up exposition. They just do. But towers have the most resistance to doing that. And that's one of the main things that gives them that true calming quality. What she did right here, she did it twice in a row, her storytelling G is sensitive to the fact that rattling off 5 countries is a little not the most interesting. A Zaini generally does not rattle them off necessarily have to be super fast because they aren't as concerned about how you're taking this from a storytelling point of view. They're more concerned about is it being delivered correctly, are all the words true, and they link together. So for her, she portrayed, a lot of these kind of faux and gurus will do this, portrayed an eagerness to want you to like the story they're telling. Zaini actually are a bit more impervious to actually liking the story or how it's delivered. They're more concerned with everything actually executed correctly. Do you know what I mean? It's a different momentum thing that's on your mind. But with her, both those times, when one was kind of being a little controversial, and the other time when she was being like rattling off destinations, she kind of like, smoothed it. It's natural, I think, for anyone here who, for example, is a Naiji, if you notice something is like an awkward moment, you'll just naturally change your cadence to like go through that period faster. You try to make it too obvious, your Xi masks it, but the G wants to make the encounter what better or have a certain kind of tone to it. And so if you're afraid of losing the audience, this is key. Naiji RG, they are more concerned about losing an audience when they're talking. And so she kind of betrayed that there a little bit with those little flourishes like that. Often, for example, when you see Ziny doing flourishes of speed, it's often for humor or delight. Not to skip over an awkward portion or to slip in something where you're like, what'd she say? Because Naiji do a lot of those kinds of mumble subliminal shit into a conversation. You know what I mean? You're like, what'd you say? Oh yeah, I talked to you about that. So that's something that you kind of notice there. I went on a bit, but it's a subtle thing. With these Zai and Naiji, I'm really having to hone in on these subtle differences because the Zai just tamps down all the maneuvers. You really have to like go into streams you can see and really analyze those peaks and valleys. If that makes some sense. All right. Was there another one that was challenging?
A few of them were. I mean, like obviously, so a lot of these biologists are Xeni. So
which one was the most?
Is there which? I mean, sometimes people guess Xeni from. Sometimes people are guessing even Nijai more. Is there someone that people guess Nijai a lot on?
That's what I was guessing. Is there one like that? Because that'd be a good cover.
Like, what about Kristalla Prather? How many people guessed Nijai on her?
I did.
I did.
Okay.
Did you, Demas?
No, I got Xeni.
Okay. Well, then it seems like still most people seem like they guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's go with that one then. Demas, you go take lead in it from then.
Oh, cool.
So one next.
Mitchell, are you taking care of the video?
You know what? I can. Yeah, I have it up.
Okay.
I have the form up. So perfect.
So a lot of the scientists turn out to be Xeni? Is that?
I believe all of them.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the
I
world that I
guess
was a
Xeni.
part of. Look at that.
They're tricky. They had some of those, the energy where it can be tricky to tell them apart from Nijai. We were just mentioned there's a correlation between how it can be hard sometimes to tell apart Ziny and Naiji and also Nijai and Xeni.
Totally.
Particularly when you get in the sciencey realm, the kind of like progressive sciencey stuff.
And it's kind of funny that I'm on the other side of the line, even though I'm in the scientific field.
And then on the other hand, you have like the Nizi and the Xeni we've had problems with, the Nizai and Jaini. Like,
Yeah, it's interesting.
like these,
Oh yeah.
all right,
Good to know.
here is the. This might be the best one, actually. Yeah, that's perfect.
Shinsuke Jai, I can see that how
Yeah.
But also, obviously, could see.
Yeah, that compromise between the two, that combo.
I think one of her cadence stuck out to me as one of the things. Actually, physical things stuck out to me, but I'm just going to point out cadence, which is the way she begins and then gets to the middle and gets to the end. So there is kind of a steady regimentedness to each point she makes, where I hope this is descriptive enough, but when she'll begin a point and end a point, and there's kind of like a nod of there's that, and then begins the next, and each one kind of just naturally stacks onto
totally.
each other, you know.
Totally.
So
I like
there's that natural cadence of structuring and beginning, middle, end, beginning, middle, end. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the word I use on the few that's good. She stacks naturally. With the Nijai, their articulation, even it's good. It feels a little more like they're tossing it out.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, but
That's
Xeni, like they have this, like just the way they talk, they just feel very authoritative.
Yeah.
Like that's something they're very good at. They just look
interesting.
really naturally authoritative. I get that from her. Like that's like you could just look at her and like that's like an authority I can listen to.
Yeah.
That's
And
very interesting.
combined with that, what Dima said, there's no dips in the energy of her articulation that makes you think there was a wobble. It's like wobbleless.
Yeah, it seems like the Z steam engine is just like constantly pushing. Like it's not.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
I'm not seeing any.
reassuring. The pilots have.
Yeah, kind of like her Jai tells her when to stop and pause. Otherwise, her Z always would have a move it could make. It's never like without an idea or strength to make a move or just say something.
Easier to cultivate as well as one that's much less expensive to process.
You, like kind of, it's probably what also your politics too. Is like I'm hearing her, I feel no dips in confidence, no dips in strength.
Not at all.
Custom design micro.
Oh my.
This is cutting
On that,
edge science.
the Jai, which is heavy, it gives like a warble to the voice. I'm gonna say warble, but not a wobble. The Jai of Jai Mojos, it gives their Z a wobbly kind of quality that makes it warm, but it's a warm wobbly. Hers gives like a warble, like I hear, it makes any sense, I'm making these words up, but like,
I get it.
I hear this Jai sound, but it doesn't feel like, I feel the Z being warm, but not to the point that it's fluttering. If that makes any sense. Like a certain amount of heat, the Z will start to kind of like do this. I feel like the Jai is very warm, but the Z, I don't feel it fluttering at all, like I do with the Jai Mojo.
There's a good contrast because I actually read a lot of the technological Nijai recently in a Hangout, and so you can look at some of them. Good contrast.
That's pretty good. You guys want to see another one, or are we good on her?
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, the video is not playing anymore from me, so I couldn't comment much after that.
Yeah, it didn't go on that long, but I think
Yeah.
that's up in there.
You got actually explained very well.
Okay, then we can go ahead and get the live read then. If you want to go ahead and do the toast?
Yes. So I want to go at the group Paramore. The lead singer, Haley Williams, has already been read as a Naiji.
Yeah.
I want to go at the two other main members, Taylor York and Jeremy Davis. And they're both in the same band, and so they're going to both be in the same videos. And I'll start putting on.
So who's who? Infinity, you're muted right now.
Yeah. Taylor's the person to the right, and Jeremy's the person to the left. Haley in the middle's been done.
Who are we reading?
Person right and person left.
Okay.
Both of them?
We'll do what we can do.
I mean, if you want, we can focus on the one to the right first, and then with
All right,
time.
let's make the one to the right. What's his name?
Taylor?
Who's on the right? Infinity, who's on the right? Infinity, who's on the right?
Taylor York.
Okay, let's make Taylor the primary, and the one on the left is who? Jeremy?
Jeremy, secondary.
He's secondary, so let's focus on the one on the right, and if you guys feel good with that, we'll do the other one.
That's fine.
Taylor York. Here, I'll give you his name.
Should I advance the video to when the other guy speaks?
Play the songs a bit differently to enjoy them, and not only that, but the crowd is different all the time.
We can go do a double read. Let's just do it this way, because I think I can read them both. I think I have them. So go ahead, and tonight people can just guess who they want. You can do one or both, either one.
Yeah,
That's sort of what I was thinking.
that's good.
There's still 20 minutes, so I think we could do it.
Is it playing for you guys?
It
The
is.
video?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is.
it's not playing for me.
Would you like?
I'd like a link. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Infinity.
Okay. Okay, I sent it.
Someone's ready to roll this.
Well, I think I'm seeing Nijez so far.
Ditto.
Well, I can
That's
see.
quite
Ditto
likely.
on both.
They don't look. I don't feel like I'm being hit differently than a lot of other music artists.
Right. Yeah. My main question is
You look
which
so
is jazz.
That's just the likelihood.
Hmm. Ooh.
May watch maybe another couple minutes of this maybe, and then if there's another video that could just change up the angle a bit, because it's a little limited in what we can see here.
Particularly more focused on him, if possible.
Yeah.
These are not the original members of the band, right?
I believe they were both originals, but a lot of other members went by.
Like I think there was two other guys, like two brothers who were
That's
the
right.
original songwriters, and they
Yeah.
they both left.
Yeah. So I'm not including them here. That's actually in the next video. It will have one of the originals.
I'm getting another Zach Galifianakis riff on the guy on the left,
Oh yeah, I see that.
or like a subjective Bradley Cooper on the left.
I see what you're saying about the Zach Galifianakis part.
Yeah, and I mean like an IG version of Bradley Cooper.
I don't know Bradley Cooper. Let me.
He's in a Limitless.
Oh, him. Oh, I know
Yeah.
who you're talking about.
Bradley Cooper, that guy.
Got it. Oh yeah, I see it in the smile world. Yeah. Do I even see a little bit of Sean Penn in the guy to the left?
Yeah, definitely like the cunning eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can watch the video, it's distracting having her in the center.
Okay.
Keeps taking-
That might be a lingering issue with all these videos. But
Okay, then these may not be suitable samples because this is challenging for me, so I don't want to imagine this for you guys.
okay. Okay. I'm trying to click to the next one and it's not letting me. Can someone? Is anyone able to click on the one below it?
I'm sorry?
Is anyone able
Oh,
to
you already put
click?
the video in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I put the video in.
Wait.
Let me grab some more.
He's on the right this time.
Which side?
The guy on the left reminds me a little bit of Jared Leto. Requiem for a Dream. He's also in that band Mission to Mars.
Has he been read?
He's a
Yeah.
Neji.
Yeah.
Naiji. Interesting.
That's not a.
They're kind of, they look like they're kind of detached right now, especially the one on the left. It's kind of going inside.
Yeah, not really paying attention, kind of like zoned out.
Yeah.
Should I skip ahead and they talk more later on? Let's see what we can do there.
The right's kind of doing it a little bit too, but he's paying a little more attention.
Yeah. All three of them are really fidgety.
Yeah.
They seem to do this sort of thing where like the guy on the right is more like the outgoing G one, and the guy on the left it seems to be like the more technically minded one, or more like he has the more serious ideas. But
Did you say the one on the right was more technically minded?
No, sorry. The one on the left is the more serious one,
Oh, okay.
and the one on the right seems to be the more like outgoing one. But they, that's just like the thing that they do. It doesn't mean that they're a particular kind of.
But I see what you're saying. I
yeah.
can sort of get that from their energies a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I've always gathered.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Like the one on the right always seems a little more connected.
Like he smiles more. He does more like G stuff, I guess. You'd say, but he definitely also seems subjective. I think.
Yeah, I definitely see subjective, at least in the one to the right.
Yeah, one on the right looks a little more outgoing. That
One
makes
to the
sense.
left, I'm still debating a little bit. Between the two Nijes.
I think the one on the left has good energy though.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's.
definitely.
I'm sure they're all peaking well.
You guys think you want to keep watching this video or see another one?
This one's about to end, so
Okay, well, let me add another. Let me add another. I don't know why it's not letting me click
Has
it.
the one in the middle been read?
The girl? She's an IG.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if she had been read or not.
Actually, you know what? Wait, let me try one other thing. Give me 1 second.
Oh, with the glasses, I'm seeing more Joaquin Phoenix on the left.
Interesting.
You know, from that movie. Have you seen that movie, Her?
Yeah. I recently saw it. Good movie.
Yeah. And he looks, he has that more like professional look.
Yeah. Let me see if I can fast forward this and drop them.
So, did we lose Glenn?
Almeida wants.
Yeah, he dropped off a while ago. I'm not sure.
We didn't even get that far, really.
Oh, Glenn?
Having tech issues.
He ran and told the idea that me and Taylor.
Yeah, he left before we started the library.
Yeah.
What's that?
Music and like.
He left before we started the library.
Okay.
Or he dropped off or whatever.
I mean, it's
Let me see if I can fast forward just a drop. You know what? You guys want to stick to this video or go to something different if I can get to go?
Alone with all these boys. But
I don't hear much
he
chatter.
drove
You
us
guys
around
seeing
for
anything?
a
What are you guys
good,
thinking?
like-
Are you ready to
I don't
call
know
it?
if
Or are you...
I mean, it's hard to see too many cues in this.
Yeah, we're not really gonna find a better video.
He doesn't
Like,
really.
so-
I mean, he's so disengaged. That's sort of the thing. He just sort of like.
You guys can give whatever you want as far as an answer. That's all we're saying tonight. The video is limited, so whatever you feel comfortable with is totally cool.
Infinity, do you have another sample that would have like one person or like a more clear video?
Let me see if I could do a search for just a single person.
Yeah, if there's any video that just has him, that would be extremely helpful.
No, I'm saying like for another live read. If we just go ahead and guess on these guys.
Yeah, I think after these, though, we probably won't have time for another one. It's like 7:20 already.
Okay.
But I appreciate that, Bruno. Yeah.
That's not cool.
Okay.
Paramore, and we were like, pretty cool. And we like looked up all the meanings, and I think it's, you know, I think you get so hung up on what a cool band name is that you just stuck with it.
If I can
Forward. Yeah. So you get like royalties from it. Did you guys at least give her credit on an album?
see these.
We just talk about her in interviews.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
good enough, I guess. So our friend Hammer and Hank wants to know, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to break into the music business?
I mean, for me, it's all about just really holding true to your art, you know, because everyone has an
Let me see if I.
It's really easy to listen to other people's opinions, and sometimes it's easy to take them, you know, personally and the right thing. But really, you have to.
Let me find.
You just have to have a really good idea of who you are and the person that you want to be and that you want to come across as, and like not change. And it sounds simple, but it's really a hard thing, and you have to stick with that. You have to hold true.
It's got to be hard because you probably have a lot of people telling you what to do and what they think is best for the band.
Yeah, not to mention now with the internet, like everyone has, you know, everyone can write reviews, everyone can say what they want, and it's a very loud opinion, even though it's essentially just someone on a computer. So, I mean, you do have to have a really firm idea of your identity and your art, and
Very
that
fidgety.
change over time, obviously. But I think that as long as you're being genuine and being true to your heart about the music you're making, then you can't really go wrong, you know?
And kind of similar to that, Victor wants to know, what is the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome as a band? Putting this one together?
I mean,
Okay.
This feels typical of like a group of Naiji where there's like one leading Naiji and the others sort of just like disengage and yields constantly.
These guys is I do.
Could all be. It looks like
I
Infinite
have
Dumpster.
I have a video with the guy from the left, with the guy on the left only, if that would help.
That's good.
You guys want to have just a solo video?
He's
for that
probably the
one?
one on Leash Your Own of the three. Or of the two. My bad.
This band anthemic girlfriend too. Sure, get the crowds moving.
I'm unable to click on the links. I don't know why that's the case. Can someone try to click on the lowest one interview with Taylor York? Oh, there we go.
Wait, what's? I was gonna say it's been up for like.
Yeah.
Nice sunglasses.
All right.
Yeah, it's difficult to see the eyes, but the mouth definitely seems G, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're thinking.
I see a lot of upper lip movement.
Yeah. The laugh also seemed kind of more outward. I mean, in a way, it always is outward, but like, it's like mostly outward.
And now that she's not around, like he's just talking and talking and talking.
That's some pretty good inflection. Some kind of reassuring.
All right, we'll take a look at pictures, then go.
All right.
So, so Jeremy Davis, what are you guys thinking for him?
I'm thinking Naiji for him.
Yeah, I'm thinking 90.
For Jeremy Davis.
I'm less confident on Taylor than I am with Jeremy, though.
That's exactly.
Oh, so
how
we
I-
actually are guessing them both.
If you
Oh,
want. Yeah.
Whatever we can. Whatever
And
we
I thought Taylor wasn't Taylor the one, our primary one?
That was the thought, but then
Taylor.
it's switched.
But I think we ended up deciding that we can guess on either one,
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean,
or both, or whatever.
does anyone say not Najez for either one?
No.
I don't.
Well, I don't. I don't anyway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jeremy Davis is the one that's more problematic for me, and I guess the one riff that I'm seeing that was capturing my attention most was Bradley Cooper, but subjective. So, and he's a Genii. I don't know if you guys know who that is. If anyone doesn't know who he is.
I mean, I liked what you said before about Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, right. That was the first thing that popped out too.
All right, it's 7:30. Final. What you got?
Should I start? I'll guess Naiji for both.
I go last, right? I go
Oh
last.
wait, yeah, you're last. Yeah, that's correct.
I'll guess Naiji for both, but with Taylor, I'll put Nija as my second guess.
Okay, I'll guess Nige for both.
I say Naiji for both.
I'm actually going to say Nijai for Taylor and Naiji for Jeremy.
Okay, so I'm going to say that they are both Naiji, but Taylor, since I couldn't get you alone, right? He's the bearded one. I'm going to say soft read on him.
Okay,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
that makes sense.
Soft read, okay.
No, Taylor is the one we did just see alone.
We did?
Yeah. Jeremy Davis is the one we didn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Taylor, he has sunglasses on, didn't he?
Yeah, but that I was still able to see better with that because I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Taylor.
We can get a lot of hands with them.
Taylor, I say Naiji.
And the other one's soft.
Soft Naiji.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But they do look.
Yeah. They kept looking away all the time. They're fidgeting.
I'm so.
And the hands were long, and they would do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm so used to seeing these Najez now that like I've been working at a radio station that like brings in bands, and I've been doing like live sound gigs. Like I had a concert yesterday that I was doing live sound for, and there's so many of these like cross-gender Najez bands where like you'll see like the Naiji lady lead where it's like a Naiji wolf pack but cross-gendered.
Right.
Yeah.
That's totally what this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Okay, so I guess that's good for tonight. Last thing is, let's go ahead and go off live, but let's have everyone stay for just a second, and then we'll call it.
Sounds good.